In this video, I'm going to show you how to create unlimited content IDs so that you never start from a blank page. So in contentfarming.io, we have a few different ways to generate IDs. First of all, we can generate IDs with AI. We can add them manually. We can import a CSV. But my favorite one is what I called the plus 10% strategy. It's basically piggybacking off of existing creators and existing content, and then just make it better, like 10% better. And a lot of content creators, that's all they do. They piggyback off stuff that already exists, and they just make it a little bit better, with a little bit better story, better angle, etc. And turns out that some of it is picking up and becoming viral. So inside contentfarming.io, we do that automatically. So let me just show you what I mean by that. So first of all, in order to create those IDs, you need to make sure that you have your API keys set up. So the open router, and also API if you want to scrape and replicate. So next you'll want to go to IDs, and then you'll click on creator. So this list is going to be empty. You want to click on add creator, and then add a creator from YouTube, for instance, or you can add a creator from Instagram or from TikTok or from LinkedIn. They all work. You can also create a search term. And so basically, once you have created creators and once you have created search terms, you can basically scrape them on schedule. So for instance, we can scrape NIN on LinkedIn on a daily basis. And here you will see that I have 1,248 results. So obviously not all of it is good, but some of it is valuable, and we can get really nice IDs off of that. So this schedule is running, so it scrapes LinkedIn on a daily basis, and it checks if there is new content relevant to NIN. And let me just show you what that looks like in the scraped content table. So here you will see that sometimes we have empty stuff like that. You can just delete it. So for instance, we have I automated static ad creation with Nano Banana Pro and NIN. Thank you very much, Fabian. So we are going to check his content. So we can click on the source if we want to. So we can see what that actually looks like on LinkedIn. We can see the performance metrics. We can see the transcript. And here I'm going to convert that into a new ID. So I'm going to click this, and I'm going to select myself, for instance. And this is basically going to take his content, and this is going to make it better. So next I'm going to be able to find it inside the IDs bank. Here you'll see that this is currently generating. Once it has generated, you'll see different stuff like different hooks that you can use, different CTAs that you can use, different talking points, and more. If you want a full YouTube script, here this is giving you exactly that. So the script structure with the opening that you can use, the body, climax, the closing, the different engagement drivers that you can use as well, the different viral elements. And so basically you never start from a blank page. This is all designed to make it easy. And once we have those IDs, they can be used and they can be fed into autopilots, or they can be used into jobs so that we can actually make the most out of them. So there you go. This has created the I automated static ad creation with Nano Banana Pro plus NIN. So there you go. Now I have different hooks. Why it works: user specific technical tool names that signal expertise and credibility, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not going to read all of it. I'm just going to show you how we are going to be able to use it inside the content production pipelines. So here I have different CTAs, and I have different talking points and more. Now I'll want to use this ID, and I'll want to make it a little bit better, or I'll want to make different variations of it. So I'm going to click on generate variations. I'm going to use this ID and I'm going to generate unique titles for each version. And I'm going to select a brand voice, which is going to be mine. Let's say I want to use another brand voice. So this is going to generate 2 variations. Let's say I want to generate 5, 6, 10 different variations. I'll click on generating, and this is basically going to produce different hooks, different CTAs, different talking points, and more stuff that I'm going to be able to use later on inside the content production pipeline. So now I'm going to show you how to create an ID manually. So here you'll click on ID, add ID manually, and basically you just type your stuff in here and then add ID. You can obviously enter multiple IDs if you want to. So when you enter one ID per line, it becomes one ID each line. Next, we are also going to generate IDs using the AI generate. So let's say I want to create something about YouTube script creation using the plus 10% strategy, and I'm going to create 4 IDs about that. I'm going to be using a brand voice, and I'm going to create those IDs. So here you can see that these are still generating. Once they'll be generated, we'll have the different angles, CTAs and stuff. And basically all we need to do next is to go inside jobs, create a new job or generate. We are going to use a blueprint. I'm going to go into that a little bit later. So basically I'm going to select a blueprint. I'm going to click continue. And here you'll see that I have the different IDs. And each time I click an ID, this is going to generate a new piece of content. And I can obviously allocate different hooks and different talking points, which I can then combine or use separately. Let me just show you a generation that contains these items. Now this is a bit too early, they are still generating. So I'm going to unselect them and I'm going to look for, okay, let's look at that one. So here I'm going to select 1 hook, 2 hooks. I'm going to make them into separate outputs. And here I'm going to select talking points. Next, I'll want to select CTAs. Perhaps I don't want to select CTAs and I want this to be inside the prompts, no problem. And then I'll click on continue. I'll be using different library elements, which I'll get to in a second. And here you'll see that we'll have 2 different outputs, so basically 1 per item. So very easy. ID generation is like super simple. So there are 4 different ways to do it. So the first one is AI generated, the second one is manually added, the third one is import as a CSV, and the fourth one is piggyback off of content that's already existing.